Alright guys, so I think I'm a little bit late to this video here, but during the Investors Day event, there has been something new that has come up and something that was hidden in the background that I'm sure is gonna catch your guys' attention. Obviously, as you guys were paying attention to the event, you saw an image pop up and it was a beautiful Model S Plaid in red. But just to the side of that, you're gonna see a wall charger. Now this is a wall charger we've never seen ever before. It's very elongated and it's in silver, and it even has the T Tesla logo instead of the Tesla spelled out. Now originally we didn't think much of it, but eventually somebody has noticed that there was something a little bit odd, and it might be a newer version of something Tesla is gonna be calling the wireless home charging pad. At the moment, I'm sure this is probably a prototype somewhere along the line that Tesla's working on. It might be an accessory to Tesla vehicles, it might come with the Tesla, but I'm sure this is something that Tesla's working on right now, especially for the Robotaxi. Now this is nothing new. There are a lot of different wireless charging pad mock-ups that are available online, but nothing has really been implemented to the point where we can purchase it and leave it in our home. I can't recall correctly, but there is a country that has wireless charging underneath of their cement roads. Maybe it was just an idea, but I'm not even sure what vehicle was even capable of taking the charge in such a quick speed. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know, but during the recent auto show, Dodge showed off their Ram Revolution, and it showed a new robot-style charger that slides underneath of the vehicle as soon as you come home, and it charges wirelessly. Now, of course, this is not going to be extremely quick. It's not going to be like plugging in your vehicle, but it's extremely convenient that you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is just drive your vehicle into your garage. The robot will find its way to your vehicle, find out the charging capacity, find out the availability of it, and then just start charging. So that's really the only thing that I can think that's comparable to the wireless charging mat here. I'm not sure how that robot is gonna work exactly. There might be bumps and hiccups on the road. The robot itself shouldn't even be able to hold that much charge, and unless it's connected through another cable, it shouldn't be able to do anything more than maybe half a kilowatt to a kilowatt. And then if it is connected through a wire somewhere else, it's just gonna be another tripping hazard. So I don't think this is gonna be a very good idea. But the charging mat is a completely different thing. It doesn't have to move, it's there all the time, and as long as it can charge in every position, it's a great idea. Now I'm just gonna give you guys a brief pros and cons here. The pros really that it can be used as trickle charging. Now even though it's essentially supposed to be connected to 240 volt and it's supposed to give you all that energy, there is gonna be a lot of power losses to it. So taking it as if it was a 120 volt wireless charging, it would be fantastic regardless. Now we all know that with wireless charging there is a lot of heat that needs to be dissipated, and instead of just having that completely wasted, it can preheat the vehicle's battery. So this means that every morning when you get into your vehicle, the battery is already preheated and you don't lose any regenerative braking. Now all of this is pretty good for the typical home user, but what essentially is going to be used for mainly is robotaxis. Robotaxis is going to require that no humans are going to be interfering with it, so it's going to go out, drive people, and come back home and charge on the trickle charger. It'll take roughly about a half a day to a day before it gets enough juice to get going again, but all that means is that there is no human interaction at all. Now one thing that's good with this, and I think Tesla really highlighted this, and it starts out in Texas, is the $30 per month unlimited use charging as long as it's using renewable energy. So why I say this charging mat works so well is the vehicle can be parked at any given time, but it doesn't start charging until the rate kicks in. So only after a certain time, maybe midnight to 3 a.m., renewable energy is going to be at the most efficient level, and that's when it's going to be starting to charge. This is regardless if the car is over the mat at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. to 8 a.m., whatever it is, as long as it sees that renewable energy is available, it's going to start charging on its own. Alright, so now let's go to the cons here. The first con is that it's going to introduce a lot more complexity to the car itself. It's going to require that it has coils underneath, meaning that it's going to have a lot of heat that it has to deal with. Now number two is that it's not going to be efficient. It's definitely not going to be efficient compared to plugging it directly in. I guess if you really want to compare it, this is really similar to Qi charging, and that's when you put your phone against a wireless charger. It's going to charge a lot slower, and when it does charge, your phone's going to heat up a lot more than it would if you just plugged it in. And now for the last thing here is that it provides 2 too little gain for how much drawback it has, and unless Tesla works up some kind of new magic, some kind of way that it makes the efficiency go up to the same level as when you plug it in, it's going to be very difficult for this to be adopted. Somebody that has experience in working with devices and chargers for such a long time like Apple could not manage a way to make wireless charging work. They've only really introduced MagSafe a few years ago, and that has been pretty good as it reduces the way that a human can put the charger onto the phone. Now this is something that Tesla can work on as well, but it means that it's not going to be a charging mat, and I think that's the closest thing you can do with a phone. I don't see a MagSafe connector connect up to the vehicle, and what if you jumped into the vehicle and you needed to go and you just ripped the whole charger apart? I don't think this is going to be what they're going after, but maybe the wireless charging is something that's going to work in the future as long as it's efficient. Now, if you guys can remember back to the idea of having robotics arm go into your vehicle, plug it in, and you're pretty much good to go. Tesla has pretty much scrapped that idea. Elon has never talked about it ever again. But I'm sure a replacement to that is definitely coming, especially with the Robotaxi fleet. So something is on their mind. They're definitely working on something. So we'll just have to wait and see. Things are getting very exciting, especially for this year. Make sure you guys stay up to date by hitting the subscribe button and the bell notification. I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Anyways, this should be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is it. Peace out.